What's up, y'all? Happy New Year. Hope all is well with y'all today. Even though you guys, I don't really celebrate the New Year and all that stuff because the real New Year is really not until March 1st. But we'll talk about that later on down the line with all of this stuff. But for the grand scheme of things, Happy New Year to y'all. Peace and blessings. I want to go over some things to y'all for the chosen ones today. And I just feel like I ain't did a video in a minute and I need to do a video. When I'm not doing a video on here, y'all understand that I'm working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes and I'm reading a lot. So it's like I'm just pulled in so many different directions. So don't ever think that I'm neglecting y'all if I don't post no video because I'm definitely thinking about y'all. And it's just stuff that I'm really trying to prepare for later on down the line. So that's what I'll be doing. But I remember last video I did say I wanted to talk to y'all about a scripture about the chosen ones, because I really want y'all to understand what it really means to be chosen, because it's not just, some like little society or nothing like that. You truly are gifted. You truly are chosen by the Most High. Like there's truly a special calling over your life. You're truly here to be one of God's faithful servants. You're here to be one of his, one of the main marching men in the battle. Like he really chose you to go up against the kingdom of darkness. So that's what we're going to talk about today through the scripture. And yeah, so we're going to discuss that. And I just want y'all to know that this year is about truly answering the call on your life. It's no longer time to be playing around, watching everybody else win or feeling pity for yourself and self-loathing because of things that you didn't accomplish last year. We're not letting anything stop us, period. This is your year. This is the time. Every year should be your year where you are allowing God to lead you into your destiny, because you were called for a reason. For many are called, but few are chosen. And to be chosen means to answer that call that's on your life. The phone is ringing. God is like, He's blowing you up. He's blowing you up. He's calling your name. He's calling your name like he did Moses, like he did me. Tania, I'm up here. Ring, 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 ring. The phone is ringing. Ring, 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 ring. Are you gonna answer the call? Like it's ringing. Pick it up. Hello? Yeah, you gotta pick up the call, pick up the phone, answer the call in your life, and walk out in the mission. God calling you, he calling you with a play. He needs you to act on the play. He needs you to see, he trying to see if you loyal. Are you gonna do this for me? Are you gonna ride? A lot of y'all want to be ride or dies for the wrong people. No, we need to ride or die for God in the kingdom of heaven. So that's what this is about. Is you riding or is you sliding? Is you riding or sliding? Is you riding or is you sliding? Like, for real though. But it's serious. A lot of the things you went through in your life, it wasn't just because God wanted bad things to happen to you. He allowed those situations to happen because he know where you're going to be leading at. He needs you to lead for certain causes. He needs you to be an advocate for certain causes, some of the things you've been through. But a lot of times people don't want to talk about the things that they've been through because you might be ashamed, embarrassed, but you can't let that stuff, things that someone else did to you. But even if you put your own self in certain positions, you can't let that stuff hinder you because of embarrassment. No, because it's about learning from those experiences. And that's where you will gain some wisdom. You will gain some understanding. God will give you wisdom. When you made it out of that situation, it's many other people that's going to go through that very thing that you went through. And he needs you to be able to coach them through. He needs you to be able to, he's calling you to be a shepherd over his flock, over the lost sheep, because we know it's many lost people out here, especially in our community. It's a lot of us that's lost, blind leading the blind, don't know where we going, whether we going or coming. We just monkey see, monkey do, following behind the wrong people. But he called you, someone here who has been through that. You've been through something that I haven't been through. I might have been through something that you haven't been through. The next person might have been through something that you might have not have been through. So for the losses that you have taken, if you learn from those losses, or if you have experience on how to grieve, how to healthily grieve through certain situations, you can help other people who have been through that. You may have lost a parent at a young age and had to go through life without a parent. Maybe Now he's calling you to be in a position where you help lead other little children like that were like you, or even other adults who still haven't healed from that wound. Teenagers or whoever that you need to reach back. Our goal here as humans is not here to just get everything handed to us. It's to be givers and servants of God's people, of his people. It's to reach back out and help bring the next one up. We made it out of that situation and go back and help get somebody else out of it. It's not just about every man for themselves. You get out of it, you figure out your way, you do what you need to do to get out, and then you go back and give them tools and that wisdom to go help everybody else. Just like Harriet Tubman. She could have made it out and then left everybody behind, but she like, all right, I took the risk, went through everything, all the trials and tribulations to find freedom, to find a route to get to the north, to the land of freedom. So now that I know the route, all right, now I know the play, I can go back and go get some folk and help free them too. That's what our job here is to do. We're not just here just as chosen ones. I don't know about everybody else, but as chosen ones, we're here to serve. This is why a lot of us have a savior complex in the first place. We want to save people. We want to fix everybody. That's what we're literally here to do. It ain't just about fixing these little these guys out here that got mama issues and daddy issues, and it ain't for the men that always want to play Captain Saver. It ain't just for a relationship, trying to save the person that you want to be in a relationship with. It's about helping the world. It's about helping the world. So I wanted to go over Matthew chapter 22, and we're going to go over Jeremiah chapter 1, because this is what it's really talking about. So yeah, we want to read that. And I just want y'all to know, this is a year to be disciplined, to be intentional with everything that you're doing, with who you're spending your time with what you're consuming, because a lot of these distractions and stuff is preventing you from being able to truly answer the call in your life. A lot of your addictions, a lot of your bad habits, these are things that we want to work on this year, where we don't have no more room to be lackadaisical, slothful, sluggard. We don't have time for that. We're here to serve. God wants to bless you with certain things, but he needs you to do your part. He needs you to do, you're a team. We want to be join teams with everybody else, but the only true person you need on your team is the Lord, because he's the one that's going to lead you the way. I'm telling you, I'm living it. It's just like every day. It's just amazing to me to see how he like just answers you like with the simple things. You don't know what to do. A lot of us don't know what to do. We know that, okay, I don't even know. I know I want to help people, but what area do I help them in? These are the things you go to God for. He's going to give you confirmations about that. He's going to give you confirmations. You might be scrolling on your timeline and he'll present something in front of you. No matter where you are in the world, he'll present something and it's going to be like, but this is why you have to pay attention. Pay attention. I'm just telling you, some of the things that I just be like, that I've been just brainstorming different things. And the next day, a random video popped up. And then I end up, joining the girl's email list. It wasn't her email list. It was like she had like a free masterclass or something. And in the course, it was, stuff, a lot of this stuff, I mean, I guess because too, I have elevated beyond level 1 of understanding certain things. So that's why sometimes it just don't serve me. No, it just be like a lot of fluff to me, but to somebody else, it might be exactly what they need. Even with this, even though it was a lot of fluff in it, it was that one word in there that was in her presentation that I watched. It was that one word that confirmed something that I asked God. So this is what I'm saying. It'd be something so like, you have to just pay attention. The one word in her presentation, and that answered me for something that I had asked God about, things that I'm working on and just trying to build the brand and build my empire that he has called me here to do, to fully walk out in the calling that he called me here to do. So you have to just really pay attention. You have to get rid of distractions. You have to get into some solitude so that you can focus. You have to be intentional about what you're doing. You have to be intentional about what you're consuming. You have to be disciplined, even when you don't see instant results. We got to stop looking for instant gratification. Think that, just because I've been working on it for 30 days, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, that does not mean to give up, because if God gave you a vision and if he's telling you, he's leading you the way, slow and steady wins the race. It's not about instantaneous things happening. You have to just allow things to play out in God's timing. He knows what he's doing. A lot of times we like to rush. And I know that's been a big thing for me, understanding that you're doing enough. Because a lot of times we feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. Because it just comes from past things of feeling like you're not doing enough. When you grow up and, to narcissists, sometimes you just feel like you're never doing enough. Or when you've been in narcissistic relationships, you feel like what you're doing is not enough. And if it's not really producing cash right now, if it's not producing instant results, you feel like you're not doing enough. So a part of this year is understanding that keep working. As long as you know you're working, even if you're not seeing that instant turnaround, like the fast money, and if you used to fast money and in your new calling, in your purpose, you're not seeing that fast money like you once used to see, to keep going anyway. God will let you know when you need to pivot, shift. He will let you know those things, but you keep steady on your course, on your straight and narrow path. You keep steady. Even when you're not getting that fast money, even when you feel like I'm not doing enough because I'm not producing money, because a lot of times we think that we're not doing it. But if it's not producing money, we're not doing enough. If we don't see the numbers, if the numbers ain't doing what it need to do, we feel like we're not doing enough. But there's a season for everything. In your slow season, a lot of times that's where you evaluate and reevaluate and learning new things that's going to build upon that business or whatever the activity, whatever it is that God has you working on. That's the slow down seasons. Is time for evaluation, taking your time to do things right, not just putting together rush products. We don't want to rush things. We want to truly take our time and understand that God's timing is not our timing. We think that I'm turning this age, going through midlife crisis, and all this, and we just be like, oh, time is running out. Because that's something that I always deal with. I really be feeling like time is running out. Time is running out. This is ending soon. This is happening. Oh, I don't got that much time. And that's when that anxiety starts to get the best of you. But that's when you have to get back focused and understand that, hello, do you have faith or not? Because when you have faith, you're not worried about these deadlines that people are giving you. It doesn't matter if they gave you this deadline. When you have faith, you know that God is going to come through right at the appointed time. He's going to come through. And if he don't come through right before the deadline, that means that's not an opportunity that he even wants you to take anyway. It's probably time to shift and move to a new direction. So we just have to that's what having faith comes in at. It's about knowing that faith is in that situation at this time, because the faith you had faith the last situation that happened, and that situation passed. Now a new situation arises that causes you to have faith, and you have to too have faith then too. Faith is something that's always going to be presented. You're going to always be presented with a situation that requires you to have faith. It's to test to see if you, for one, do you still have this faith that you say you have in me? You had faith the last time, you got through that. Now it's another situation that's going to arise, and you still need to have that same kind of faith to understand that I will do what I said I'm going to do. And if it doesn't happen, that means that's not what I want for you. Rejection is God's protection. So when we understand that, we can maneuver through life more swiftly and have better understanding of what's going on when these situations arise. We don't have to get anxious, depressed, and all of that, because we know things are working out the way it's supposed to. Everything is happening for me, not to me. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it, so it don't be like dumb long. But I wanted to we're going to first read the parable. So this is the parable of the wedding banquet. This is Matthew chapter 22. And but the theme of this is many are called, few are chosen. So I wanted to read this and break it down for y'all to understand, what it means to be chosen, and how if you don't answer the call, you could forfeit up your spot to somebody else. And then when you see somebody else doing what you wanted to do or what you were supposed to do, now you sitting back envious of them, or you sitting back mad, or sitting back expecting pity when you were supposed to do it, but you didn't answer the call. You didn't move when God told. When the phone was ringing, you didn't answer it. You missed your spot. So now you guys sit there and wait for it to come back around, because it's not even to say that you missed your spot, because what's for you going to be for you, but you have to answer it. Sometimes you will delay all because you missed the call. Now you got to wait for them to call you back again. Now you get pushed to the back of the line. And now somebody else possibly is going to be up in line because they was willing to answer soon as God gave it to them. You have to, sometimes you can miss an opportunity. So when you're given the opportunity, you must take it. You must take it. Or else it'll slip you by, and then it won't come back around till another year or 2 years, 3 years later, because you wasn't ready for it. Or even if you wasn't ready, because sometimes it's not about you being ready. It's about answering it and allowing God to just prepare you as you're walking in it. You got to just get up there. And that's what we're going to talk about in Jeremiah. You don't have to know. I don't know. We're going to talk about that when we get to Jeremiah. But sometimes you don't know what to do. God telling you, get up here, start a platform. You're like, what am I going to say? I'm not ready. I got speech issues like Moses. I got a speech impediment. I stutter all the time. Like, I'm going to make mistakes. I don't really know. I don't know the word like that. I don't know this. God said, I will lead you. Just get up there. My words will be your words. My thoughts will be your thoughts. So we can't let fear and what we don't know or what we feel like we're not qualified for stop us from certain opportunities. Sometimes you just got to apply. You got to just apply for the job. It don't matter if you don't meet all those qualifications. You will be trained. You're going to get trained anyway. So God is going to train you and equip you for that position that he's putting you in, because he called you to it. So obviously he's going to equip you with all the tools, resources, knowledge, wisdom, everything that you need for that position. But you got to answer the call. You got to take the offer. He's giving you an offer. You got to take it and then figure out everything after. We don't have to be prepared for certain positions off the rip. He will train you in that area, and he will keep on training you. Just like Moses, he didn't know. He was like, you want me to speak? You want me to lead your people? You want me to go to Pharaoh? I can't even talk. Who am I going to say sent me? He said, I am, tell them I am that I am sent you. The big God, not the little one. Tell them I sent you, and this is the words that you're going to say. Well, you're going to tell this to Aaron because you got speech issues, but guess what? Your brother don't. But you're going to be the middleman between me and Aaron, and that's who's going to do it. He's going to speak to the people on my behalf. But you translate to them, but you're still the leader. And you're going to be the one to go do this. So let's go ahead and read the parable of the wedding banquet. So it says, Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. So these parables here was Jesus telling the Pharisees and them, giving them parables about what the kingdom of heaven is, and what it's like to be in the kingdom of heaven. And I told y'all, as chosen ones, we're in the kingdom of heaven. God chose you to serve on his side. And this is really an ongoing fight between the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of darkness. He chose you to serve this side, not that side. This the best side. This the winning team. Get with the winning team, baby. Get with the winning team, because we're going to always defeat them. Period. Because we don't battle demons, we slay them. We slay them. Even with reading Chronicles and Kings, that's why y'all, if y'all really want to know about it's all through the Bible, all the wars and stuff that they've been having. But it just really it just be so comforting to just see how God really was with them through the battle. They was scared too. The kings, like, what am I going to do? Like, they coming up against me. What am I going to do? They trying to come take our stuff. What are we going to do? God said, just trust in me. I'm the Lord your God. I will slay them. I'm gonna deliver them into your hands, and you gonna slay them. You're going to slay him. Like, he said, have no fear. Have no fear. So it's just so, this is why I always say, read your Bible, because it's just so like, it's so real. It's so real because these are the same battles that we're going through in real life. People trying to come take your stuff. People trying to steal whatever, steal your peace, steal your actual material things, trying to steal your destiny, trying to keep you from answering a call on your life, trying to steal your light, trying to dim your light. So that's what a lot be going on in here. So it just be so funny and so interesting to me. But let's keep on reading. But this was what this parable is for. Jesus was telling them, what the kingdom of heaven is like. So he's speaking a lot of parables. He gives like analogies, tell like a story to help you understand what it's like. So it says, Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fattened cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the banquet. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers. I don't want to say the word, but y'all know the M word for unaliving. So he destroyed those and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, the wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find. So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, the bad as well as the good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. He asked, how did you get in here without wedding clothes, friend? The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen. So that's NIV version. But King James version says, for many are called, but few are chosen. So I want to go back and break this thing down for you and allow you to see how it relates to you being the chosen one, how you can forfeit your spot because you won't answer the call. Like these guys, they invited these people to the dinner, to the banquet, but they didn't want to come. And God, okay, so let's read it again. This time we're just going to break it down. So it said, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. So God is the king who prepared a banquet for you as his children, as his chosen ones. A lot of times, like I say, if you were the black sheep of your family, it's for a reason. It's all strategy. It's all strategy. It's to bring you out. That's how you know. It's like the marking. In the book of Numbers, it talks about how that they were marked. You're chosen. You were chosen from the womb. And that's what we're going to talk about when we go talk about Jeremiah. But this is how he selects his people. He said, we're his children. In this instance, the chosen ones is God's children. You're his sons and daughters. And God is the king. So the kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a banquet for his son. God prepared a banquet for us already. And it says he sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. So God sent his angels to come and tell you, you're chosen. You're chosen. You're chosen. And you're like, okay, chosen for what? Like, chosen for what? So basically, God sends his angels to anoint you, to call you in, to whisper to you, to be the deliverer, to say, hey, I'm calling you. You're chosen. You're chosen to come into the kingdom of heaven. You're chosen. This heaven is yours. You're chosen to answer the call and come in here. You're invited. You're invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refuse to come. It's when you know you feel it on you. You got a lot that's buried in you. You got things that you want to say. You got things that you're feeling that needs to come up out of you. but you refuse to come. You refuse to answer. People been telling you your whole life, or people see things in you. They tell you about your potential. They tell you a lot of things, but you don't see it within you. That's God using these people as angels to come and tell you, use it. And you know, angels are God's servants. They work for God to come and deliver messages, deliver signs, deliver secret. They work on behalf of God. So that's God sending his angels to tell you, hello, you're invited. That's the calling. He sent the servants to call you. That's the ring, 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 ring. Tell you to come, but you refuse to answer the call. You hear the phone ring and you just like, I ain't answering that. It ain't nothing but a bill collector. Whole time, this time it's not a bill collector. It's literally God calling you. God calling you to break you free from your misery. It's him calling you. But you think, oh no, the only thing I can ever do to be successful in life, especially in our community, everybody think they can only be a rapper, a singer, get in the acting world, be a football player, basketball player. That's the only thing. That's the only way you see out. A lot of our people, that's the only way that they see getting out of poverty, getting out of their funk, is through those mainstream talents. You feel like, oh, I don't got no gifts. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to write. I don't know how to paint. I don't know how to do these talent, what they would deem as talent. You feel like because you don't have these talents that you don't have nothing. But you have wisdom that God has put into you. You have experience. You have been through something. So then it says, then he sent more servants and said, tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fattened cattle have been butchered and everything is ready. Just come to the banquet. So he sent another servant, another angel. Just everything is here for you. Everything is here for you. The money, the freedom, everything, whatever you're praying for, the money, the freedom, the husband, the wife, everything that you're desiring, it's here in the kingdom of heaven. You don't have to go out in the world. You don't have to do anything selling your soul for $1. You don't have to go out there selling your body for money. You don't have to go out there doing all of these things for money, stealing and all of that. You don't have to do that for money. Come here. It's God saying, just come to me. Just come to me. Like it says in the scripture, seek first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything will be added to you. That's what that is saying. Like, seek me and all those things that you want, these materialistic things that you want, everything that you want, all those, seek me. Come here. He said the king is it's a wedding banquet prepared for him, and you have been invited, and everything is here. Everything is here. I got my oxen, fattened cattle. You got a whole banquet. You get ready to eat over here. When you come on this side, you're going to truly eat. You're going to be full. It's going to be an abundance here. It's an abundance. You ain't no lack here. When you come over to the kingdom of heaven, when you truly answer the call and pick your side and come over. Come on over. That's just like, imagine Jay-Z or somebody coming up and you be like, come on, here's a ticket. Come to this dinner tonight. You gonna go. Most times, you gonna go because you like, shoot, I know it's if Jay-Z there, I know he gonna have a room full of other big dogs with big bucks, big money, that big opportunity. You gonna feel like it's big opportunity in that room. That's what God is. Big opportunity. You come over on this side. You come over on this side. You ain't gonna have to sell no soul. You're not gonna have to degrade yourself for $1. You ain't gonna have to sacrifice your children, sacrifice your family. Well, I ain't gonna say sacrifice your family. Only if that, like, for a short time, you might have to sacrifice your family. It just all depends on. But for you as the chosen one, 9 times out of 10, he needs you to break away from your family, to isolate you so that you can answer the call, because you're the black sheep anyway. You already was the one that was different and ostracized, or the scapegoat. You was already the burden to the family. You was already that one in the first place. So stop trying to cleave to them because you're scared of not having nobody. Or if it's meant for those people to be in your life, God will bring them back around. But he first needs you by yourself so he can get you into your purpose, get you answering the call on your life first. Then he got to get you together. He got to prune you. He got to strip you away from everything. It's literally a pruning season that you have to go through. When he calls you and you answer the call and he sends you into the wilderness, sends you into isolation, it's to strip you from them old habits that's going to hinder you in your new season. It's to give you healthy boundaries, take away those people-pleasing tendencies, because a lot of times when you're a people-pleaser, you give all that you have to people who don't give a dang on about you. And then when you out of everything, they looking at you like, oh, well. And then you mad and sad, crying out to the Lord again, or crying to whoever because of what they've done. But if you would have those boundaries, if you allow yourself true healing time, if you really take, people don't like to take true seasons of healing. Anybody that say, oh, I'm healed, this take time. When you really healing, it take time. And it take you getting to know yourself inside out. And only God knows who you truly are. God knows everything that has happened to you since before your memory can even recollect on what has happened. Before you even can, it's a lot of things you don't even remember that happened in your life. He saw everything. He gonna reveal to you the good, the bad, the ugly, the things that you need to get rid of, the things that you need to add. He gonna really grow you. He's literally going to raise you up. He's literally going to raise you up. You his child. You ain't your parents' children. You're his child. What the guy say yesterday? My man Rob, his channel, he talked about like narcissistic parents and stuff like that. And his post yesterday, what did he say? Oh my gosh, I told him I was going to steal what he said. He was like, basically, he was just venting or whatever about, his own narcissistic mother and stuff, and just, just doing some venting. And I remember him saying, he was like, basically, make sure you raise your kids right, because God looking at everybody. And once your child turns to God behind your back, it's over. I was like, ooh, that part really hit, because once your child turns to God behind your back, it's over for you. It's over for that narcissistic family, because that child, God gonna have that child to reveal all the demonic energy of the family, because that child is the one that's here to break generational curses. That's what I'm saying. You as the chosen one, you as the black sheep, the scapegoat, you were called here to break generational curses. You were called here to expose all the darkness in your family and many other families out here, the darkness of this world. You're called here to do that. You're on special assignment. You have a big purpose on your life. You're here to answer, walk in some big shoes. You got big shoes to fulfill. And yes, you equipped for it, because you've been through it. Yes, you equipped to speak on it. Yes, God chose you for a time such as this. Enough with the silencing. And we ain't silencing this demonic energy nowhere, no more. We're calling it out. That's what God chose you. It's a fight. He called you. Like they say, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Baby, you are you're a soldier. One of the toughest soldiers. This is why he wants to send you into the wilderness, to grow even more stronger, to not be weakened by what has happened to you, to stop letting people just step all over you and get that people-pleasing spirit about you, make you bold, make you audacious, to show you who you really is. Everything that they said you couldn't be, everything they said you couldn't do, that's what this season is about. This is why he will send you into isolation, to show you who you are, because a lot of times we don't know who we are because we've been kicked down, talked about by friends, family, peers, everybody. We've been talked about. You've been put last. And that's why we know the last shall be first. For many are called, but few are chosen. The last shall be first. That's why it don't matter. You scared, we are behind the scenes type people. We don't like to be all up and out. We're not attention seeking people, because for one, we ain't used to that much attention. So we don't even really want all of that. We just want to do right. We just want to do what we're supposed to do. But God called you to fight against the kingdom of darkness. You the truth teller for a reason. But they didn't suppress you so much. A lot of times they have suppressed the truth tellers so much. We've been condemned for speaking up against societal norms. They don't want you to speak out against this wickedness. They want you to fall in line with the rest. We don't fall in line, baby. We don't follow the flock. We lead the flock. They throw you out to the wolves. You come back leading the pack. That's what we do as chosen ones. Period. And just like I told y'all with Joseph, they sold Joseph off into slavery. His brothers hating because he had dreams and aspirations. They will hate on you because you got dreams and aspirations that you didn't ask for. God put it in your head. Joseph ain't asked for them dreams. And just because he told his brothers and told his dad, the brothers hated on him. Now they want to unalive him. They ain't even like that he had dreams. All because the dream was to reveal that he was actually going to be leading over everybody else. And you were mad because this is what the vision, the dream I had. How can you mad at me because of something that came into my head that I didn't ask for? It's just in me. That's why it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. And you gotta get it up. And a lot of times you suppress what's in you. You bury it down so much. When that one thing is gonna be the very thing that leads you to your prosperous life that God has ordained for you. But because it's been pushed down. Nah, this is why God want to bring it up out of you because it's already in you. Your gift, it's a gift in everybody. You might can't draw, paint, play ball, throw a ball, shoot a ball. You might can't do all the things that these other people can do. But your voice alone, your wisdom alone, your experiences alone, the fact that you're a safe place for people. These people out here need therapy. You actually the one that's probably going to end up having to help your very own family like Joseph did to heal them. So you got to really answer the call. You called to fight against the dark forces, baby. You called to fight. Gird your loins, put your steel-toe boots on, strap up, square up, let's go. It's time to fight against the dark side. God called you. Answer the call. So let's finish like breaking this down, whatever. But that's basically been said. The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son and his servants and said, come. Then he sent another servant. So the first time they refused to come. Like, nah, I ain't coming. So he sent another servant. Tell those that have been invited, I prepared my dinner. Everything is ready, basically. Come to the banquet. It's ready here in the kingdom of heaven. It's ready for you. Forget what you think you don't have. Oh, man, God, it's ready for you. It says, but they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and unalived them. Because when you're trying to help some people sometimes, like me, I'm out here telling y'all, answer the call. I'm not just out here doing videos for my health. I don't like to be on the camera either. I'm just like you. I don't want to be on the camera. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want all this attention. That ain't me, but I have to answer the call. My calling is to be up here talking to y'all, to try to get y'all right, to try to equip y'all to help us lead, especially in our community. Y'all know our community is in shambles. We got to get this thing together. Ain't enough, and we can't keep sitting around talking about all the issues in our community yet. Nobody is stepping up to lead said community, lead these lost sheep. You're not bold because you're scared of the community. Don't be scared of the community doing what these folk did to them. Want to mistreat them and unalive them and all that. Don't be worried about that. Don't be worried about all the stuff that they're going to say, all the throwing tomatoes that they're going to do. No. They're going to talk. That's all they're going to do. That's all they've ever done. Talk. All about talk, no action. We ain't really with that talking. We about that action. We about that action. God wants you to be about that action. We're not threatened by none of these little dogs out here because we know we serve the biggest dog, the biggest stepper. Big God, not the little one. We don't care about with all that little, all that naysay that they be talking about. We don't care about all that. So, it says, so the king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those and burned their city. So you will piss God off if you're not answering a call in your life. God is the king in this circumstance, and you will piss him off when you're not answering because he chose you. It's something in you that only you can do. He don't want to have to call everybody else. He don't want to have to take your gift and give it to somebody else. And then when you see other people shining and doing what you were supposed to do, and then you're going to be saying that, well, I know that. I could have said that. I could have done that. Then do it. Do it. Stop being scared. What you scared of? What you waiting on? Ain't no perfect time. The time is now. The time is now to do it. You're not waiting another year. You're not waiting another month. Today, the day you see this video, today is the day that you get started. Today. Today is the day you start writing it out. Today is the day that you go ahead and make your account, make your social media account. Today is the day if you're called to go preach out in the streets, advocate for your cause. If you want to set up a table in the middle of nowhere, make some signs and talk about justice for whatever cause, whatever it is, your area, because God will assign you to a specific, your ministry will be in a specific area. Or multiple. You don't even have to niche down. He called you to talk about this, that, and that. You're the one to do it because a lot of other people won't want to do it. A lot of other people don't want to do it. They don't want to talk about the main things that's plaguing our communities. They don't want to talk. They don't want to get that down with it. They don't want to go that deep with it. They don't want to go that deep with it. You're going to be the one to go that deep with it. A lot of these people out here is surface level. Man, but then you can't be preaching all these podcasts, want all these issues fixed, but you don't even talk about what this stuff stems from. You got to get to the root. You got to pull stuff up by the root. All that surface level stuff, you pull it by the root. The health of a tree comes from its roots. If it's a low quality, if it's a bad tree, it stems from what has been going on at the roots. When your edges and your hair follicles is messed up, why? If you can't grow hair in certain spots, you're balding. Why? It's because the root, the follicle, what's underneath the surface here, what's underneath the surface here is what's messed up. You got to figure out what's going on down underneath. Ain't no just masking it up, putting paint on it and all. No. We want to figure out what's going on down there at the bottom, baby. At the bottom, when there's plumbing issues going on in your house, they got to go under the ground, see what's going on with them sewer lines under the ground. They can't just be like, oh, no, we got to dig this mess up and see what went wrong. So it says, then he said to his servants, the wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite the banquet anyone you find. So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find. So this basically God saying, the banquet is ready, but those that I called, they didn't deserve to come because they ain't want to answer the call. They stiff-necked. They don't care. They scared. They don't deserve to come. If I'm telling you, if I give you an offer, I'm giving you an opportunity and you don't want to take it, obviously you don't feel like you don't deserve it, and maybe you really don't deserve it. Then you ain't really about this life for real. So let me give it to somebody else. Let me get an opportunity to somebody else who willing to fill these big shoes, because you not. You a little dog. You scary cat. We don't even want no scary cats on our side anyway. We want the big steppers on our side. On this side of the tug of war road, baby, we need all heavy hitters that got strength. That's going, yeah, because we want to defeat the other side. We want all heavy hitters. We don't want no weaklings that's going to be making us lose to the other side. No, we need them heavy hitters, period. That's what we need. Not them little dogs who going to have us losing all the time. Nah, who's scared and want to go climb and climb. No, we need the ones that's going to get up and fight. That's what we need. So he said, go out to the street corners and find you anyone. Because God needs to enlist people in his army. This is an army. He needs to enlist troops. He's enlisting troops. This is why you went through what you went through, because you were going through that to become a soldier, to fight in the army. His army versus their army. That's what I'm saying. When you read in Kings, this is what they were doing, like enlisting the troops. Like I'm calling you, like y'all gotta come and fight. Sometimes they were scared. They were like, I don't know. But when God told them, oh, don't worry about it. You're going to defeat them because I got you. The Lord your God. The Lord your God got you. So it says, so the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, the bad as well as the good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. So at this point, when you don't answer the call, God will go out here and call all type of people, because you might look at them and like, how you, just like people probably think about me, you talk like this, or you got these nails, how you qualified? You got a nose ring, how you qualified to be in the kingdom of heaven? How you qualified to be on God's team? Because I was chosen. Nails and all. He will choose the bad as well as the good. We got to fill the spots. The spots got to be filled. So if I'm the one that's willing to answer the call because your little butt don't want to do it, guess what? That's what he gonna do. When you see all your other people out here and they had this type of lifestyle and that type of bad lifestyle, and you wonder like, dang. I mean, we even see like Moses. He unalived the person. He will call those people that got those harsh paths that then came through. All right, my phone died, so I gotta finish this video up. He will call those people. He will call them. It don't matter because God qualifies the called. He qualifies you. Not man, not nobody. He know the ones who really bout it. Who it come from the inside. It come from the inside. And God already know I'm about it. I don't care. It was already instilled in me from you. And I be thinking I'm bad sometimes, but I be seeing my old Facebook posts pop up on the memories. I'm like, I definitely am much better out my mouth than I used to be. Because I used to say some stuff on there. It just be coming up and I'd be like, I used to talk like this. Like, I definitely have more couth about myself. I don't really like to go to people. Now, I can get with it. I can get gutter with it, but I'm just not on it. Like, but if I have to, I will. And God will always keep that on me because sometimes it's needed when you got it. So, but he know I'm bold. I always been not afraid to do my own thing. A lot of this stuff, that's what I'm saying. When you awaken, you realize a lot of this, it already been in you. I was a teenager. I was 14 years old. I was young on this same stuff. I was a little girl, my daughter's age. Already gonna do what I want to do. Always had that free spirit. Always. Never was following everybody else. Never been a follower. Never. Always did my own thing. Now, I might hang out with y'all sometimes, but I'm not doing everything that y'all doing. I do what I want. And I don't care what y'all got to say. I'm not seeking acceptance. But basically, this is what it's saying. So then it says, but when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. He asked, how did you get in without wedding clothes, friend? The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there would be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So basically, all in all, is to say, many are invited, many are called, many don't answer the call. Only the ones that answer the call are the ones that's chosen. And then when you're chosen, you must abide by the rules of this banquet. He told them, when you come, this is what you to do. Like I said, if Jay-Z called you today, say, here's a ticket. Come to this banquet tonight. It's going to be a nice banquet. It's going to be plenty food, plenty things. A man of his caliber, he's a king. And he's a king. And people might consider like Jay-Z a king. God is the ultimate king of all kings. So let's understand that. So if he invites you, if Jay-Z be like, here, come to the banquet tonight. It's going to be, everything going to be there. It's going to be lit. It's going to be a good time, but you got to wear this. And then this is the only way you can get in is if you wear this, if you do this. And if you don't do it, or if you come and you're not dressed in the appropriate gear, just like, for weddings and stuff anyway, or certain, colored or themed type of parties, if you come and you're not dressed accordingly, you're going to get thrown out. You're not going to be welcomed in. So when God is calling you, you answer the call and do what he told you to do to be entered in. And sometimes you don't know what God will have you to do, but you got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to get up here and serve in the way that he's telling you to, not the way you want, not the way that you want to make everybody else feel. You can't be worried about catering to everybody else's feelings. You got to cater to God's feelings and do what he wants you to do. Just like we about to go into with the prophet. Like I told y'all in videos before, all prophets aren't designed to sit here and just give a good word. So if God tell you need to deliver this word, telling these people these things to show the other side of God, that's what you got to do, because people think God is all sweet and just only want to say good stuff. No, you ain't reading your book. God will literally tell you to go tell somebody a message that you gonna die tomorrow if you don't stop doing what you're doing. You got to be the one that go and deliver that message. Just like Ahab, he hated seeing Elijah coming. I was just reading Chronicles yesterday too. I'm almost done. I gotta finish reading. Well, I'm reading 2 Chronicles. I ain't even read 1 Chronicles yet because like 2 Chronicles is an extension of 2 Kings, 2nd Kings. So that's why I wanted to just. It's just a certain way I'm reading, um, and and even what Micah or Micaiah, um, he was another prophet who Ahab had who had to translate for Ahab too, who had to deliver messages to Ahab, and he was like, he was like, I don't want to go ask that prophet because he don't never have nothing good to say about me. So when Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, when he came to inquire about what's to happen, or to because that the kings will go get advice from the prophets about how to deal with the upcoming battles, about people that's coming up against them. And Ahab and Jehoshaphat, they came together, which Ahab was the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat was the king of Judah, but they was coming together to fight against one of the other kings. And he was like, tell me, basically tell me what my fate is for this. And Micaiah was telling Ahab, you get ready to go down. Like, it was the prophecy was basically like, your sheep is going to be without a shepherd. And as the kings, they're basically supposed to be the sheep over the shepherd, over the flock. They're the kings over God's people, over his chosen people. So it was just funny to see that, because Ahab was so mad. I was cracking up laughing. Like, he was like, see? So when after Micaiah said that message to him, gave him that word from God, he was like, see, I told you he never has nothing good to say about me, only evil things. This is the word of God. What you think? This is because you're doing wicked stuff in the land. And God didn't even really want Jehoshaphat to come linking up with you in the first place. Like, so that was just funny to me, and I just was cracking up laughing, because he even was like that with Elijah. He don't want to hear bad stuff, and this is how people feel. They think that God only going to deliver good messages all the time, but if you out here doing wrong, God is going to get you. And he's going to send his prophet to warn you, because warning comes before destruction. So if you heed to the warning and change your ways, he will spare you. But if not, you're going to fall. You're going to get unalive. There will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth for you. That's what it will be. And it's just so many, as I read this, that's why I say y'all really got to be reading this stuff, because it be like, he don't play. If you don't put him first, if you don't come to him, even in sickness, you come to the Lord first before you go and rely on a physician. He got one of the kings with that. He got mad. God is a jealous God. If you go to anybody before you come to him, you're going to piss him off. He wants you to come to him first about everything. He wants you to come to him first about everything. No matter what, you come to him first. And truly, he going to lead the way. That's why it's like, whatever sickness you battling, go to God first, because you rely on them physicians who after you to only destroy you anyway. You need to be going to the Lord. He will give you the real remedy, the holistic remedy for your situation. Before all of this man-made industry, y'all know that $1 trillion industry came along that be giving you all type of stuff, medicines to take. Before that came along, what y'all think that they were doing? They didn't have no lab where they was in here making all type of ill, they didn't have that. Where they was making pills and stuff to treat you. It was holistic. All right, y'all. So now we want to go ahead and read Jeremiah. And this is real quick. For y'all to see, like, that's why you gotta just read your book, because we're living out this stuff. So if this is your guidebook to life, if the answer to your problem is in here, why would you not want to read it? If you need understanding about something, you will see a character in here. This is why I like to read it, because they was presented with some of the same issues we went through. And then we see, how did they handle it? We see the way that they handled it. Was that favorable to God? Did God tell them to do that? And did it work out for them, or did it not? We get the wisdom from looking in here and seeing, hey, they going through the same thing I'm going through. How did they handle it? If I handle it how they handle it, I too will be blessed how they did. If I handle it in a way that they handle it that's actually an abomination to the Lord, I too am going to be crucified for for it the way that they were. So this is what you have to read and adapt that to your own life and to your own circumstance of what's going on, so you see how to move. This is where I get my instruction from the Lord. Like, even like, I don't know, I think I'm starting to have like dreams. Most times my dreams is just like regular. Like, I mean, they just be weird sometimes. Sometimes if for a while I was not dreaming. Now all of a sudden I be dreaming again. And it just be weird. I don't even understand why what be going on sometimes. Like, one of my dreams was about Chipotle. Like, but the other day I had that was a different type of a dream. Like, it was actually a message, and I had to post it, and obviously people needed to hear that, because that little short video that I did the other day, that joint was, and that wasn't from me. That was just from the Lord. So it was weird. I think I'm starting to have like prophetic dreams a little bit. And that's not the first one, because I had another dream before that. It led me to something to read in the Apocrypha, and it was right on time with what I needed. So it's like, God, you gotta pay attention. And when He's giving you these prophetic dreams, or when He's leading you to His word, it's to answer something that you had on your heart, or just something that He needs you to deliver that wasn't even on your heart. He needs you to deliver it though, and you must deliver it. If He giving you a vision, whatever it is, you have to do it. You have to be a faithful servant. To be a faithful servant means to be loyal and to do what you are told to do. The same way you go do what your boss tell you to do at work, and you don't give too much pushback, the same way you do it. You do it. So let's read this part about the calling of Jeremiah. Okay. So it says, then the word of the Lord came to me saying, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. I love this part. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. God already knew you before you was formed in your mama womb. He put you there. He allowed, that's what I'm saying. He allows these things to happen. He know what He's going to use that situation for. He know what you out here doing, getting involved in. He know what you're doing, and He know what it's going to lead to. That's why I'm not really for, unaliving the babies, no matter the circumstance, because you don't know what that baby is called here to do. It's not about you. It's not about you. And surely if God give you a blessing, if He give you a baby, He's going to see through that you have a means to take care of that baby. If you come to Him first, you're going to have a way to take care of that baby. He will provide anybody in your life to help you. He will get you through. He will get you through. He will provide resources, even if it ain't your family. He will provide the way for you to take care of that baby. I'm not for unaliving the babies, like, at all, because it's my baby that got me where I am. And I was considering getting rid of her, even though I really wanted her, but it was just because of her dad, because I knew he wasn't really ready, even though he really wanted her too. We went through a whole little thing with that. He was calling me because I said I booked the appointment to get rid of the baby. But I really couldn't go through with that. I never even went. And then he was, calling me names, calling me the herder. He was calling me that and stuff. I'm like, it ain't even, I don't want to give her a father that's not really truly ready to be a dad. You think you are, because you don't know responsibility, because you don't have no kids. You can't even really truly take care of yourself like you really need to let alone ready to take care of a baby. So that's why I really wanted to get rid of her at first. But I was like, I can't go through with that. This is my baby. Regardless of what he do, this is my baby. Whether he there, whether he do what he's supposed to, this is mine. And I think I just have such a connection with her. Because she's different. She's unique. And she just remind me, I'm like, I think I used to be like her when I was little. And, she is a handful and she is challenging to some. She's a crybaby because she's so spoiled. So, but it's because of her what led me into truly having a relationship with God, because me sitting down pregnant, that's when God was able to get to me. I thank her all the time, because it was my little baby, my 2-year-old, the one that run around here thinking she run everything. They give me a hard time. And sometimes parents would have it. And I wonder, sometimes I wonder if That was the case for my mom with me. Like, what made you what made you have feel a way about me or whatnot? And sometimes you might have been the child that maybe they wanted to get rid of, or try to, but it didn't go through, or whatever. Maybe they had you just for a chat. Parent people, these women out here be they get pregnant for all different type of reasons, and sometimes they might have tried to get rid of it, had an abortion, and it ain't go through, it ain't even work because God needed that baby here for a certain reason. That baby has a special calling on their life. You, as the chosen one, you made it through. God chose you. He said, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. And before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you. He said, before you came out the womb, I sanctified you and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Before you even came out. Before you even came out. You a blessing. You were ordained before you even came out the belly. He said, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. I knew you. And before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you and I ordained you to be a prophet to the nation. So since you had a big purpose in your life before you even knew what a purpose was, before you can even open your eyes, before you can do anything, before you can even see, before you were even fully developed, it was already an anointing on you, and it carried out through your childhood. I see it on my baby. This is what I'm saying. Your parents, like the way the narcissistic system is set up, it's set up strategically by God to separate the tares from the wheat. That's what it's to do. And that's why you're set apart, you're chosen, you're unique, you're special. You have a special assignment here. Before Jeremiah, it says, before you came out the womb, I sanctified you and I ordained you to be a prophet on the nations. You already had a job. You can't even open your eyes and see, and you already got a job. He already assigned you a job before you even came out the womb. Before you even came out the womb, you already had a job to be a prophet, to be a messenger of the Lord, to be an advocate for the kingdom of heaven. It says, so let's finish this. So it says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. And before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. And this is why a lot of times you as the truth teller, you were the truth teller, or you already was given like wisdom as if you were grown when you was that little. And those narcissistic parents and family members, they don't like that. I remember my mom saying in that letter, she said, you always gave me a hard time. I'm like, really? Like, I was a good kid. So what did I get? How did I give you a hard time? I be wondering that. And I'm like, maybe it's because I spoke truth or I had a free spirit. Like my little baby, that's her. Like, that's why I'm like, my little baby, the 2-year-old, it's like she's me all over again. It's like she's me all over again. And I see how challenging it can be with her. And I'm like, maybe I was like that when I was a little baby. I was clingy, didn't want to go with nobody. She's like that. My baby, this girl, she been here before. It's like she be sitting here. I don't know if it's because she see me cross my legs. Like I got my legs crossed right now. She just be sitting at the table crossing her legs. I be like, it be just so cute. A lot of the things she do, I just be like, I just love her so much. I love both my girls though. Like they both changing. My first baby, she got me started with wanting to just get myself together. But it really took that second one for me to really learn my worth, to really, get that discipline, to really learn boundaries. Like, my first one, she started waking me up to wanting to, be more at home, like becoming better with my like finances and stuff. She the one who made me want to do that because I'm like, I got a baby, I got to be able to take care of her with or without anybody. Like, yeah, her dad's involved and whatever, but I still need to be self-sufficient for my daughter. I want to set up a future for her. And then when the second baby came, though, the second baby came for me to include God in my life because I didn't know God. I wasn't raised up in the church. I knew of God because I've heard people like talk about it, but it's much different than now. And I didn't have God at my foundation. I was about money, chasing money, just trying to get rich and not including God in my plan. But that's why God set me down. And now God is included in my everyday life. He's included in everything that I do now. I'm not leaving him out now. He's not just non-existent to me. And I'm not thinking, oh, it's just luck or coincidence. I know now that it's favor. I know it's the Lord. I know it's the covering that's over me from him because I wasn't introduced. I didn't know him. But now that I know him, and that's what me getting pregnant with that second baby was to do. It was to literally sit me down and get to know him. Even though I didn't get into his word till much later, but I did used to have like a little, my best friend has gave me from her church like a little daily bread little book. And I had started looking at that and I was like, that's when I started, finding out about prophetic words. So I just started shifting from watching so much horoscope stuff. I used to just watch Virgo horoscopes all the time to try to see what my life was going to be, but mainly about my career. I was so career worried, like career. Want that money, like because I deem myself worthy based off what I'm doing in my career. That's how I used to, and it's still like a little bit now. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, it's like stop equating, money to your worth, because you have so much value to bring to people that ain't got that's free. That's free. That you don't gotta get paid for, that they don't gotta pay. Like it's just you have something to bring. You're not only worthy based off how much you can do. You're not only seen by God just because of how much money you making. Because a lot of people don't place value on you they don't place value on you until they see that you have made it in life and have making a bunch of money. Nah, there's people who see value in me even without me making a bunch of money. Even without me accomplishing all these things and these different accolades. Nah, they see value in you. And a lot of times that's what we judge ourselves based off because of others' perception of us, and mainly your narcissistic family, your narcissistic parents, because you're only seen by them and recognized by them if you're accomplishing things. If you ain't doing nothing, you ain't, that's not enough. Oh, that ain't no money. If you ain't making, if you ain't reaching the highest of heights, you ain't about nothing, So, but God sees you differently. And he ordained it for you to be prosperous and to have an abundant life, but working for him. And that's why God had to reroute me. Like he took me on a whole different route. You still won't get said things, but in a different way now, with me at the forefront, through things that have to do with me, not worldly things, not promoting anything worldly. No, through promoting the kingdom. So let me finish this because my phone about to die. So it says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you, and before you came forth out of the womb, I sanctified you, and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. So that's what Jeremiah is saying. So then it says, but the Lord said to me, say not I am a child, for you shall go to all that I shall send you, and whatsoever I command you, you shall speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with you to deliver you, said the Lord. So Jeremiah basically like, I can't speak. I'm a child. I'm new in this. That's how I felt at first. Like, I'm a baby. They will call, they'll call you a baby in Christ, because you just you recently converted, or you just now learning the word. But like it says in Revelation 7:17, baby. Let's see if we can go through it real quick. I need to hurry up and finish Jeremiah, but he will call the Lamb. And I told y'all God speaks to me through numbers. And that was 7:17 is one of the numbers. And that's when I was like, wow, you really are. Like he will lead us. I'm saying he will lead you to his word. When you see those, what they call angel numbers, these is God numbers. You go to these things in the scripture. And even when you look it up online, it still be in alignment. Like when I kept seeing 117, because 117 is another one of my numbers. Like, and it's still talking about your coming into spirituality, coming into your spiritual purpose. The angels work for the Lord. His angels. And there is the watchers who are the demonic ones. But Archangel Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, God has his angels and they come and deliver messages, and they will use these whatever they can, whatever sign they can, to that you will be able to recognize, to deliver a message to you from the Lord. He will use birds. He will use spirit animals. He will use these things. Anything that you see repetition of, look it up. Is God trying to convey a message to you, to give you confirmation, to lead you, to help you? He don't only use humans. He used animals. Any of his creation, he will use it to get a message to you. He will do whatever he got to do to get a message to you. So that's why when people were saying angel numbers are demonic and all that, man, whatever. Those are the same things that God led me to get to where I am today. Even when it was confirmation that this was the house for me, I just 144, which y'all know is the chosen one number, because we the chosen ones in the book of Revelation. 144 was, it just kept on swarming. I'm like, so this is the house, God. This is really the house. Am I really going to be approved of this? This, that. And it was. So nobody can ever tell me nothing about numbers, because they led me right where I am today. They continue to lead me. But 7:17, Revelation chapter 7, verse 17 says, for the Lamb, which is in the midst of the throne, shall feed them and shall lead them to the living fountains of water, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. So when I first seen that, I was like, wow, you using the baby. The lamb is the baby sheep. A lamb is the baby, is the kid, the baby in this. And they would call you a baby in Christ, or you a baby in your, whatever your lane is, you new in it. And you feel like I'm not qualified for it, God qualifies the call. He will teach you what you need to know. It says, for the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them to the living fountains of water, shall lead them to the truth, to lead them to the true God, to the spirit of truth. The baby, he will use the baby. Even in Kings and Chronicles, the baby Joash, I think it was Joash, he was a king from 8 years old, 7 years old. He was a baby since a youngin', the baby. And Jehoiada, however you pronounce his name, the priest, he just guided him, he led him, he kept on doing. He was basically, his what they would say, like his guardian, until he grew up into age to lead the kingdom, to lead the kingdom of Judah for himself. He was the one. But yeah, he will lead them. Yeah, like it says, 144,000 of all the tribes of children of Israel. They are the one. They the number. They the mark of God's servants. The mark of God's servants. The 144,000. Those are the ones you marked, and you've been marked since birth. You've been marked. And it says, and the God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. He will lead you. You're going to be the one to help save many others and wipe away the tears from their eyes, to give them hope, to remind them who God is, to free them from their burdens, to help heal them from them pains that they went through like you two went through. You're going to be the one to help them. You're going to be the one to give them insight. You're going to be the one to truly renew their mind. So like he said, like Jeremiah, he said, then I said, Lord, behold, I can't speak, for I'm a child. So, but the Lord said to me, say not, I am a child, for you shall go to all that I shall send you, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. And yeah, I know you a child. Don't tell me what you're not going to do. He said, say not to me, I'm a child. Don't tell me you a child. I know know you. I formed you in the belly. I know you. I've been watching you since before you even came out. I know you. I'm watching everything. I've been watching everything. I'm going to lead you. He said, you shall go to all that I shall send you. You go to where I send you, and you, whatever I command you, you shall speak. And a command is an order. It ain't no, I'm try to see if you would. No, it's a command. You will do this. Not, can you do this? No, when God commands, it's you will. I'm not asking you. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. It was a commandment. I ain't asking you nothing. I'm telling you, this is what you going to do. I ain't asking you, do you want to do it? No, I'm telling you, this is what you're going to do. Period. It says, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with you to deliver you, said the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand, touched my mouth, and the Lord said to me, Behold, I have put my words in your mouth. God put his hands to my, I put my words in your mouth. The things you're saying out your mouth is because I put those words in your mouth for you to say, to deliver the word how I will have, you're delivering on my behalf. These are my words. I'm just using your mouth. You're the vessel that I'm using. My spirit is dwelling within you for you to carry out this plan. It's me. I pour, what he say in Acts, I pour my spirit onto my sons and daughters. He poured his spirit onto you. He will put his words in your mouth for you to deliver a message to somebody. He says, see, I have this day set you over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. He gave Jeremiah all these rights. He said, I set you over the nations and over the kingdoms. I gave you this authority to root out and to pull down, to destroy, to throw down, to build and to plant. You can lift them up and you can destroy them. If they ain't doing what they're supposed to do, I give you authority to destroy them. I give you the authority to destroy all of that stuff. And I give you the authority to build it back up, to plant new seeds in them, destroy them from all their old ways, their old mind. I give you authority to strip them from those old ways. I give you authority to do that. And then we'll build it back up. Once we rid all this mess up out of these folk, then we'll build back up. But we first need to do some stripping before we can replace. You got to out with the old, in with the new. We got to strip out all that old BS that's up in you. Detox. You got IBS because you got so much crap up in you. A lot of these people full of crap. Y'all know the saying. You're full of ish. People really are literally full of ish. You ain't take a poop in days. You need a detox. You got a bunch of crap up in you that's up there warping your spirit. That's up there causing cancer and illness because you got so much junk that's built up in the inside that need to come up out of you. That needs to come out. You need to detox that out of you so we can put some new herbs, some new nutrients in you that's going to restore your health. That's going to lead you, like it said in 17, that's going to lead you to the fountains, the living fountain of water. That's going to wipe away your tears. That's what he wants to do. And he chose you to help with his flock. He chose you. He chose you, so you must answer the call. He says, and God shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes. He chose you, though. You got to answer the call. You must answer the call. Okay, so I know this was long. I didn't mean to make it this long, but this is what it is. Answer the call, you guys. This is serious. You're here on special assignment. Special assignment that he chose you for. Don't miss the mark, because then you're going to be sitting there. When you don't answer your purpose in life, your soul mission, your soul on a mission for one reason, like we saw. Before Jeremiah, before he knew him, before he formed him in the womb. The soul, before it was planted in a body, we are souls. We are spiritual beings having human experiences. Before your soul is here on a mission. If you don't answer it now, you got to get unalive out that body. That soul still got to answer the mission. That soul has a mission. So whether it lives in your body or whether it lives in another person's body, it must answer that mission. It must carry out the plan that it's supposed to. It has to. It has to. Somebody got to be the one to answer it. So it's like, all right, this person did this. I put myself in that body. All right, you don't want to carry it out either. All right, let me just go jump to another body. You have to answer the call, you guys. He already said, don't be fearful. I am with you. I am with you. Don't worry about the backlash that you're going to receive from these folks. Forget these folks, man. We tell them get down or lay down around here. We're not worried about these folks. This is all people do. That's all they're going to do. Let them talk over there. While you be a faithful servant to the Lord, and through you being a faithful servant to the Lord, you're going to be blessed abundantly in spirit and in riches, and in material riches, if you answer the call. A lot of people feel unfulfilled in life, even when they get money and stuff, because they didn't go through God. They don't have a relationship with God. The things that they're doing don't truly fulfill them, but that's just what make them money. That's what keep them dripped in material things to cope with all the voids that they really feel inside. Okay, bye-bye. I'm almost done. They use that stuff as band-aids because they didn't root the things out from the root. The real pain that they got, that they buying all these materialistic things for and all that trying to cope, they didn't get to the root. But see, when you let God get to you and heal you from the root, you get cleansed inside first. Forget all trying to be cute on the outside first. You got to get that inside right. God is about inside out, not outside in. Everybody else want to dress it up and make it look good, which is why they be dressed up trash buckets. He don't want that for you. And he wants you to get cleaned up so that you can help clean others up and lead them to a true fulfilling life. And let them answer the call on their life so that soul don't have to go on to their children. So these bad things, these curses don't have to go on to their children. He chose you. Break off those generational curses. He chose you to break it off so that way your children don't have to go through that. Do you really want your children going through some of the same wicked things you had to go through? But if you don't learn, if you don't answer it, if you don't break it off, it's going to get passed on because somebody got to break off these curses. These curses must be broken. These chains must be broken, and they must be broken by the root. You got to pull it up by the root. So you be the one. You don't want your children to be the ones that's going through that stuff. And even with them, they're going to have their own battle, but it might not be that battle. They might have to go through as worse as you did because you spared them because of what you did. By you breaking it off, you sparing them, you're saving them. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this video here, y'all. I hope y'all got something out of this video. And yeah, y'all, answer the call. For many are called, but few are chosen, baby. Answer the call. You blessed and highly favored. You the chosen one for real. You literally the chosen one. There's no better kingdom to sit in than the kingdom of heaven. You set apart for a reason. You don't want to fit in with them fakes and them losers over there. Get with the winning team. This the winning team. You on the right side. Answer your call, baby. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Deuces.